Hi everyone, welcome. Michelle Hoyt here for RE/MAX INTEGRA. We are streaming live on Facebook and we are here in this Quick Start Zoom right now. So welcome to those of you that have joined us. Some of you are brand new to RE/MAX and some of you are not. I guarantee you will learn something in this session. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. All right. So for those of you that are on with me, if you could just do me a favor and please verify that you can see me and you can see me, hear me, and see my screen, I would really appreciate it. And like I said, we are streaming Quick Start today on Facebook Live. If you hover down the bottom of your screen, you'll see the chat box. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Thank you, Margaret. Appreciate it. Awesome. So let me make this a little bigger for the benefit of our audience. All right, just a minute to go. Welcome. I see there's more of you that are chatting in. So thanks, Kim, Becky, Ellen, and Daniel. Good afternoon to you as well. Okay. So I show 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern time. Welcome everyone, welcome Facebook viewers, and welcome those of you that are on the Zoom webinar. This is Quick Start. So Quick Start is designed for those of you that are newer to RE/MAX to learn the RE/MAX tech tools. This is going to be sort of a crash course. This is a power hour. My name is Michelle Hoyt and I am a regional trainer for RE/MAX INTEGRA. And I am proud to be your host today. So I'm going to walk you through a very fast hour, as I mentioned, just giving you a quick overview of which tools to really focus on if you're new to RE/MAX. Now, if you're not new to RE/MAX, that's okay. We want you on here as well, because I guarantee you'll learn something. You'll pick up something new each time. So we're going to go through all of the tools that you're going to need and from a high level, and then I will also be watching the chat box or the Q&A box. Actually, I prefer you to ask your questions in the Q&A box if you don't mind, and I will stop from time to time and I will go through those with you, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start this Quick Start tour in the primary portal, our single sign-on center called MAX Center. And MAX Center has actually all of the applications that you absolutely need at RE/MAX. So you only have to go to one place. So if you're just getting started in the RE/MAX system, remax.net is the domain of how to get to MAX Center. So what you're seeing right now is remax.net. When you go into MAX Center, you most likely will see this home page. Now these apps that I'm showing up here that show up at the top are either top apps that are being used or my favorites. One of the things that you want to do is to go to this app section and you will start finding out which ones are your favorites, and then you can definitely mark those. You need to color in these little flags. So we're going to go through some of these main tools as well. One of the things I want to show you first is, I mean, let's face it, I know we've been home a lot, but when things subside and we will get through this, what's going to happen is you're going to be on the go. And it's important that you understand how you can actually use MAX Center on your mobile device. So one of the things you're going to need to do is set up what's called a mobile shortcut. Now I'm going to display my iPhone on the screen. And I apologize to Android users, but I'll kind of walk you through and give you some guidance as well. So what I'm going to do here in just a second, I will pull this up and I'm going to show you how to set up a shortcut for MAX Center. There is not a MAX Center app in case you've been looking for it. I just want to let you know that. So let me know that you can see my mobile device okay. If I could just get someone to verify. I am sharing my screen here. Just let me know. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to set up. Thanks guys, I appreciate it. So I'm going to show you what MAX Center looks like on mobile. So see, I'm kind of circling right here in this section. There's a little bit of a delay. Hold on when I'm projecting. So right here it says MAX Center. It's not an app, but it's a mobile shortcut. So here's what you want to do. On an iPhone, you must use Safari. So if you want to pick up your phone and follow along, use Safari because it's the native browser on your iPhone. Now, those of you that have Androids, you're going to use Chrome because it's an Android device. It's a Google device. So right here, you want to open up Safari. And what you want to do is type in remax.net. So remax.net is Mac Center, okay? So again, there's no app for that, but it's going to take you directly to the Mac Center home screen. Now, in order to save this is going to ask me to remember my login, which I've already done. In order to save this as a shortcut, what you're going to need to do is you're going to click this square with the arrow down at the bottom of your screen. Again, this is iPhone. Android, you have 3 little dots in the top right of your screen. If you click that, it's going to give you an option to add this to home screen. So 3 little dots for Android. And then for iPhone users, you're looking for this. You're going to click this option. It will then give you these other options. What you're gonna do is slide this over, okay? And you're actually gonna go up like this. So it used to be in the slide section, but you're gonna slide that over, but you can also just scroll upward. So you see where it says add to home screen as your choices right here on iPhone? You wanna click add to home screen. We're gonna call this Mac Center. We're gonna click add, okay? By the way, this session is being recorded. It will be shared with you post-session as well. So look what happens right here. Mac Center looks like it's an app, but it's really not. What it is a shortcut. So you can get to all of your Remax tools right here inside, and you're going to use your Mac Center login or your remax.net. And let's see if this cooperates for me. I was in earlier, so let's log in and see what happens. It might be open in another window, so let's see. There I am. Okay, so when you log in here, once again, here's all the apps that we were just looking at on desktop. So you can go up here to the menu, you can view. I'm getting a little bit of a delay and since I'm projecting my phone, but all the applications are here, okay? So that's one thing that we're gonna look at on mobile, but I just wanna make sure you do that right away, that you make this a mobile shortcut on your phone. And like I said, Android, yours is going to be similar. You're just going to be adding it to your home screen and then you'll be able to get to it whenever you need to, okay? All right, so let's keep moving forward then. So we just set up our Mac Center shortcut on our mobile device. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on our profile, because your profile feeds a lot of different areas of the Remax system. So how do you get to your profile? A couple of different ways, but whenever you're in Mac Center, and it doesn't matter what screen you're on, in the top right corner, you should see your own photo. So up here in the top right corner, if you don't see a photo, if you see a silhouette or anything but, we're gonna make sure we take care of that. So let me click here. And then when you go to this section, you're gonna click on Update Profile. And I'm just gonna take a quick glance. I see, oh, perfect, thanks, Jill. So Jill just said I just added it to my Android and it was easy. Thanks, Jill, I appreciate that. Glad to hear that it was easy for you. Okay, so I just clicked on my profile in Mac Center. And what we're gonna do is we're going to get out of here, but you're gonna see pop-up messages, by the way, from time to time and all these new tools and features that we have. But in our profile, so once again, I was in Mac Center and I clicked here on my picture, clicked on Update Profile. So next, I'm going to go to my profile. Now this is where, again, this profile feeds all of this. This feeds your booj website. This feeds the Remax referral directory. So all of this information should be complete and filled out. It's in your best interest for referrals and business with consumers. So as you see your profile overview, now if you see anything here that is not correct, you can do some editing. So when you hover over this section, the right-hand side of your screen, because if you're looking for the edit button over here, it won't be there. But if you're going to edit right here, what's going to happen is you click right here and it'll take you into places that you want to edit. So you can always go back to Profile Overview. One of the most important areas that you want to do, now you may need to take notes since we're going through this really fast in an hour and then go back and do these things. But in this middle section here, this is where you want to really be big with adding your social information, the link to your individual website, your booj site, or any other sites that you're using. But more importantly, your contact info, because this is the key, right? So right here, we're going to click on Edit, and just to show you some of the things that are available to you. So I want to quickly mention, especially if you just joined Remax, you are assigned what's called a remax.net username. Now the remax.net username is basically a vanity email. It's a mask, it's a forwarder. So if someone emails you at your email address at remax.net, your username, see mine is M Hoyt, then what happens is it gets forwarded to your primary email. Maybe that's Gmail, Yahoo, or something similar. Now, in order to make sure it's forwarding to the right place, this ISP email is what you need to make sure is correct. If you see that it's not, maybe it's going to an old Yahoo that you had or AOL back in the day and you want it to go to your new Gmail, then you want to click edit and you want to go ahead and correct that. And it should happen relatively quick that it starts forwarding. So keep an eye on that and then correct that and make sure, be very careful not to do sometimes we've heard agents have put in tickets and we found out they just did a typo and just one letter off or transpose letters. Just make sure you're very careful in typing that in so your emails will all forward there. Now, some of you might use remax.net on your signs, business cards, and similar, but I just want to let you know. The middle section here, we are in contact info, we're editing our Max Center profile. So we've got Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and just added, you'll see all these different options. So let's say that you want to add another one of your social profiles or, like I said, your personal URL. But Instagram is available. So if you go Instagram, then you want to put your address. So I'll do mine, and maybe that's not the right one. I'll probably have to fill in the whole thing. So you can pull up Instagram on your desktop, by the way. So I'm just going to cancel that out. So you can just choose any of these. And let's see, so Instagram, YouTube, this is really important, everyone. So if you have not set up your YouTube channel, you have one, trust me, especially if you have a Gmail, go to your Chrome, go to your YouTube channel. There's lots of videos on YouTube on how to set up your YouTube channel. We'll have some training coming up pretty soon. And but put your YouTube channel URL right here so consumers and your fellow agents in the RE/MAX network can go directly and see all of your videos. Pinterest, of course, and then most importantly, your website. So what is your website URL? What is your domain name that you're using? Now, when we get into booj, you'll see that you get an assigned domain that you can use, which is perfectly fine for marketing, but you may want to purchase your own through GoDaddy if you haven't done so already. So right here in the web address, you're going to copy and paste that in, whatever it is, isellhomes.com, moving to Milwaukee, whatever your domain is, that's what would go there, okay? So make sure you fill that out completely. As you can see, I've already linked 3 of my social profiles to my Max Center profile. Your cell phone number obviously is very important, or any other numbers. Some of you have Google Voice numbers, or your teams do, so take a look at that. Let's go ahead and keep moving down the list here. So we've got under photo, this is important. So some of you clicked here and you did not see a photo of yourself. Trust me, that's not unusual. So when you first join RE/MAX, or maybe it's been a while since you looked at it and this picture is old and you want to update it to your newest headshot, now's the time. So one of the best recommendations I have for you is make it high resolution. So this is a professional headshot that I had taken just in the last year. So current and updated and high resolution is always a good way to go. But you want to make sure by following these guidelines, it could be no larger than 5 megabytes. Now keep in mind, that's a hugely sized photo. It's high resolution. And I would say somewhere between 1 megabyte and 5 megabytes. So the one that I uploaded was 2. But the reason you want this to be high resolution is because if you don't, this is going to appear on your bio on your website, your bio on remax.com, where consumers find your profile. It's also going to feed the referral directory. And if it's not high resolution enough, it will appear blurry or pixelated. We don't want that for you. So make sure that you're getting a new headshot. And by that, I don't mean a selfie. So maybe you have to have someone take one of you standing next to some RE/MAX branding, but that's fine too. But make sure you take care of that right away, okay? So that's what's in there. Personal details. This is really, really important. This is part of your homework today, everyone. Your personal bio should be addressed right away. So this is where you're going to write your story. What is your story? And by the way, there's no spell check in here, so I highly recommend that you do this on Google Docs or Word document to do the spell and grammar check. So as you can see here, you'll put in your story. This will appear on this will appear on remax.com. This will appear on the booj office website, the team website if you're part of a team, as well as your own individual agent site when you choose to add the bio to your site. So make it good, make it count, and tell your story. What is your why? Why do you do this? Why do you get up every day and help people find homes, and what motivates you? So what you do, why you do it, where you do it, of course, the areas that you serve, your specialties, but more importantly, let people see the human side of you. When I'm not working, I can be found camping, fishing with my family, whatever it is that you choose to do. I volunteer, I give back. A lot of you are in Children's Miracle Network Miracle offices, so you should call that out on your bio. I give back on every one of my transactions to the Children's Miracle Network, or maybe you have some other cause that you feel passionate about, but definitely make mention of that. So take some time to write your story. It doesn't have to be super long. Consumers probably won't read 3 paragraphs, but if you can summarize this, who you are, what you do, why you do it, then you can do it in a nice, efficient way in 1 paragraph. Put your education, civic activities. This would be anything in the form of, like I mentioned, charities, any chamber of commerce. Obviously, make it look good. Now, all the civic activities, your fellow Remaxers will see. They'll see how involved you are in the community. Consumers can see, they'll see your hobbies and other things about you. And it's really good. I'm sorry, the other agents will see all your hobbies and everything about you. So take the time to look at these civic activities if you serve on boards, or like I said, if you just donate. So what are some of your hobbies? In the past, there was a limit on 3, but you can put in all kinds of hobbies. So if you choose from the drop down, there's already some filled in. So let's say that you like to go swimming. So I'm going to add that and hit save. And I've already got 5 on here. So it makes me sound really interesting as a person. But here's what's great about this. Other agents on the referral network can search for you based on hobbies. Let's say that maybe they have a client that they're referring to you that is a cyclist. They ride their bike a lot, and they might be looking to give that sort of connection between you and their client because they want to make sure their client's in good hands. If they do a search on the directory for agents that have biking as a hobby, there's probably going to be a pretty good fit between you and that client. So call out what it is you're interested in and passionate about, because it can pay off. I've heard some really good success stories about that. For those of you that are bilingual, trilingual, or multilingual, please add those languages in here. That is so incredibly important and could really get you a lot of referral business from international Remax agents, because we're all over the world. So that's important. So that's your Max Center profile. And I know we took some time to go through it, but I cannot stress enough how important it is to make sure that is updated. All right. So let's jump back over to Max Center itself. So you can either close this tab, and that's fine. And then remember, this is located once again in this section. Now, if you want to see what your profile looks like on the referral directory, you can click View My Profile. This is how it will appear inside of this portal to the other Remax agents in the network. So when you click there, it'll show everything that you just filled out. See, there's my hobbies. Swimming's already there. Just added it. And then all of your career awards and where you serve in these different areas. I've been playing around with this. That's why mine shows all over the place. And it shows my locations because I'm regional. But it shows all, for those of you that are part of a multi-office company, these will show up in multiple locations. More importantly, this is how you can find someone else's remax.net username. If you just want to find that on another agent, look them up, and there it is. And then notice my social media icons are here. This might be really important to another agent referring you business, to make sure that you have a social presence, because it almost seems quite the exception if you don't versus do. So make sure you at least fill in a couple of these. I would say Facebook and LinkedIn minimum. So you can be found. Once again, your profile can be found in the Max Center referral directory. And while we're on that topic, how you get to that is you click on Find. And then what you want to do is search. Now you can search by location. So let's say that you have a client that's moving to, we'll say, Fort Lauderdale. So what you want to do is, this is where it gets interesting. Do you spell out FT? Do you apostrophe it? Or, how do you do that? So let's see how this works for us. We may have to get more specific. So I put in, okay, so apparently you got to spell it out. But this is actually showing many, many agents, right? So I didn't put any filters on it. So what you can do is you can click right here, because I don't have time to go through 456 other agent profiles. Maybe I want them to be experienced, a little bit more experienced, or maybe I want them to have a subspecialty. As you can see, This is someone, you know, maybe this is a first-time buyer and you prefer that they work with someone who is going to help them and maybe be a specialist in that area. Maybe they know a lot about just walking people through the process and they're good at educating. So you can just do all kinds of filters. It's best to turn off these toggles right here. But let's just go ahead and pick a subspecialty, which I did. Let's just double check. See, that's checked off. So I'm going to hit search again. And let's see what this does. It'll narrow down. Okay, so 36 agents out of 456 actually marked a specialty as first-time buyers. I'm going to guess that's probably not true. I think probably all of them can work with first-time buyers, but this is why it's important that you fill out your profile and take the time to mark those specialties and all those little details, because the details do matter, okay? So in this case, this helps me a lot. I could probably handle going through 36 in the time that I have versus 456. So all you have to do is click on any of these. So we'll just click on the first one. Notice, by the way, they're not in alphabetical order. So this is really important for you to know, especially for yourself. If your last name starts with a Z, you're thinking, oh, I'm always at the back of the line. But the truth is it's random when you run this search. So that way it gives everyone a fair chance. So that's not alphabetical. But this is Sherry. She looks like a nice person, smiling, and I look at her profile, I read everything. And remember, I put in like a specialty. I wanted to know first-time buyers. So she took the time to fill that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Sherry, make sure she's ready, willing, and able to get the lead. But more importantly, you're going to discuss referral fee. And that is entirely up to you. So for those of you that just joined RE/MAX, and maybe this is a refresher for you, I'm sure your broker owner told you that when it comes to referrals, that is a straight up agent to agent transaction. RE/MAX does not get involved. There are no referral fees. Doesn't matter what state you're in, doesn't matter anything. So across the world, you can refer business and receive business from other RE/MAX agents, and you work out the referral fee between the two of you. It's great. So what you do is when you're ready to send this referral, you go up here to the top once you found your agent, and notice this fills out a form for you, the receiving agent and the sending agent. It's good to go. You go ahead and mark down what the referral fee is, so it's in writing. And what is it going to be based on? A fee, listing price, selling price, what have you. And then you fill out the client info as much as you need to, as much as you shared about, and then you can even add a whole notes section. So maybe there's some additional details you forgot to mention on that initial phone call with this other agent. When you're done filling this out, you would hit the send button. They will receive a copy of it and get a notification, and you will also have a copy of it and shows that you sent it. So your items, your referrals will be saved under your profile, okay? So let me see, I saw some questions flying in. I wanna make sure, and some chats. Let's see what's going on here. Thanks, guys. Did I add to favorites on, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm looking at some old questions. Did you add to favorites on the iPhone? So again, for the Mac Center, I added that as a add to home page is what it is. It was on the iPhone. So it just says add to home screen. Okay. So it's not a favorite. You could add it to favorites inside of your browser, but you can also mark it as its own. So it looks like its own app. And Becky, I think you just asked, and hopefully I just answered your question. How do I get to the find an affiliate area? So let me know that answered your question. Again, on the left-hand side here, you would click find, and this is where you go and search. So let me know if you're still needing help with that, Becky. I appreciate your question. Okay, all right. So that's the Mac Center referral directory. So let's jump back over to the apps. And I want to show you some key areas that are near and dear to my heart, especially as a trainer, starting with RE/MAX University. RE/MAX University can be located right here. It's got the cap and gown, or the cap, I should say, not the gown. It's got the cap. And what it's going to take you to is this huge library of educational resources. It's videos, there are some articles here. There's a whole host of resources that are available here to educate you and help you get better at what you do and to keep you motivated and learning from your peers. There's lots and lots of content here. So as you can see, of course, right now, I'm sure you're all getting inundated with webinar invitations. And look, we understand, we get it. What you want, one of the best places to go to see what's going on in the network is here inside of RE/MAX University, but then I will also show you, we have our region blog that you should definitely take note of because we keep all the webinar schedules on the calendar there. But RE/MAX University will have a number of opportunities for you. So first of all, we post our webinars. So this webinar will be posted on RE/MAX University. You can just type in Quick Start and you'll find it. And it'll be posted in the next 24 hours. We also are posting other webinars that we do. So anything we do at RE/MAX INTEGRA, whether it's on booj or other topics. I've got a Tech Tuesday I'm hosting tomorrow that will be posted here, but also on the RE/MAX INTEGRA YouTube channel. So in addition to RU, I'm going to quickly show you. Make sure you go to YouTube and jot this down, RE/MAX INTEGRA, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we are posting all of our videos public. As you can see, webinars that just happened. Here's one that I did a couple weeks ago on booj websites and design and SEO. So you can find those right here on the RE/MAX INTEGRA YouTube channel. When you subscribe, you'll start getting notified whenever we post new content. So I just want to make you aware of that. We will post today's session on the YouTube channel as well. So another place to find our schedule, and I'll go back to RE/MAX University here in just a moment, is to go to soldsignblog.com. Soldsignblog.com is the region blog for RE/MAX INTEGRA US. I know we have some of you on here from New England as well as Midwest. So right here, soldsignblog.com. So make this a favorite. So by the way, anytime you want to favorite anything, just color in this blue star. Then you want to go to events and then calendar. So like I said, I know and I've had a lot of you reach out to me and ask, where are all the webinars? I'm getting email after email, but I can't see where they're all listed. I don't know which one to attend. So here's the one we're doing right now, which is Quick Start. Tech Tuesdays is starting tomorrow. So I will be hosting on a weekly basis through June 30th, a different tech topic. And I'm going to feature your RE/MAX peers around the network, sharing what they're doing with some of those tools and best practices. So that is located here again on the calendar. You can register for that and you'll be registered for all of them. Tomorrow's going to be about what a Colorado broker owner is doing with his agents to touch their clients and keep them engaged in these challenging times for sure. So it's all about video. So anything else, again, we're even putting the RE/MAX LLC video or webinar schedules here, and anything we have coming up that applies to you. Please take a look at this calendar. And again, bookmark this page by itself by simply clicking in that little star, okay? So let's see. So Kim, you just asked, where is this again? So I am on soldsignblog.com. So if you want to open another tab, this is the region blog. And then you want to click on calendar, events and calendar, and that's where this is located. So that's where I would definitely have you mark that, so then you know all of the webinars that are happening. We're trying to streamline it and keep it all in one place, and we know that's important to you. Okay, let me see if we've got anything else going on here in the chat box. Okay, great, Becky, I'm glad that helped you. Okay, so once again, the RE/MAX INTEGRA YouTube channel has lots of resources in our recorded webinars, and the soldsignblog.com calendar has, and it's under events and calendar, has all of the webinar schedules that are up and coming that you can register for. So back to RE/MAX University. Once again, I was in the App Store and then I clicked on RE/MAX University. This is where you can take a lot of different courses. This is brand new, so there are some COVID-19 resources. If you are looking for those, you can click here and this will take you to a whole portal that's been created that you can take a look at. There's samples of business letters. It gives you kind of the CARES Act and a lot of different resources right here. And more importantly, just some ideas on how to engage with your clients, kind of things we're already talking about. But I don't know if you know this is there, but there's a lot of resources. So take a look at that, and that way I'll give you some guidance on, a lot of you are probably wondering, what do I do? What do I say? How do I get started? And where do I go? How do I go about doing my business? So other things inside of here, there are learning tracks. There is a cost to some of these that you can learn. If you're part of a team, there's one. If you're a broker owner, there's specific broker owner training, or if you're a manager, and then lots of resources here under this area. So one thing that RE/MAX has done is purchased a Zoom account for each and every one of you. Zoom is this webinar platform that we're using right now. There's a whole section on how to learn and get better at Zoom. There's training there for you. There's also the section on booj. Now we're going to cover booj at a very fast pace and in a high level, but there's an entire library here of tutorial videos that I cannot stress enough are going to help you in your journey to learn our internal software system. So booj stands for Be Original or Jealous, and we purchased this company in 2018, so it's been just over 2 years. And one of the best places I can tell you is if you go to the webinar section, this is where you're going to see some webinars that have already occurred, especially the ones that say booj Beginner, Managing Deals. So like it's kind of an overview of all the different features, and the RE/MAX LLC team has led these. We're going to post our webinars on there also. And then also you can go to the overview videos. So this is where if you want to just get a high level overview of each different feature, deals, office websites, agent websites, etc., those are all located inside of here. And booj learning tracks. So I really want to stress booj learning tracks especially for this group, for those of you that are brand new. What you want to do is you want to watch maybe in these orders, especially the profile setup and account management. You'll probably see some of the same things we just covered on Max Center, but if you follow these little tabs right here, they are basically set up in great order for you that you can watch, and it's a series of videos. And it's going to give you, and as you can see, there's no cost to take this. It's just going to show you how to set up your booj account. So very, very valuable for you. I can't stress that enough. Okay. So back to the applications. Let's get out of here. Back to the applications. The last thing I want to talk about in the way of resources is our support team. So you have right here, broker and agent support. So you may want to favorite that. And then what this is called maxhelpsyou.com. Maxhelpsyou.com is an entire portal and resource center available to you to go to ask questions, if you need to submit a help ticket, if you're experiencing an issue or an error message on technology. It's technology, first of all. So I just want to set the right expectation that there may be some things that there might be bugs, there might be fixes needed or known issues, and that will happen, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear directly from you on what's happening with the system, how we can make it better, but also we find this out by you submitting a support ticket. So right here it says submit a request. So you can submit a ticket that way. And let's say that maybe you're getting an error message or you might be having login issues or that sort of thing. The good news is maxhelpsyou.com is an external domain. So if one of your issues is you can't log into Max Center and can't get here, just make sure you write down maxhelpsyou.com and you can submit that as whatever the issue is that you're experiencing. Sometimes things happen and we just want you to know that that's the case. So once again, if you have, let's just say if you have a question, like if I type in Design Center and I hit enter, there's a whole knowledge base of articles here, frequently asked questions and answers, and you can actually find just about anything you need to know on Design Center in here. And if you don't, then you can ask those questions. So just want to let you know it's intuitive, it's searchable, and of course you want to click on the US knowledge base, and this will show you everything. So see, on just about every article and category you can think of, there's Max Center and all the common questions, remax.com, etc. Okay. All right, so let's get into the tools. So we talked about all the support, we talked about the blog. Let's talk about booj. So booj is the system that you're going to manage your leads in. It's how you're going to get remax.com, and it's also where you're going to set up and access your agent website. So we're going to click right here. So again, we are in Max Center, and you want to go to apps if you don't see booj on your home screen. So we're going to click right here, and this is going to take us by default to the CRM page. Now, for those of you that are brand new, if for some reason you have not established your account yet, okay? So let's say that you haven't set up your account, you may see what's called a setup wizard on your screen, okay? Let's see, hold on, I'm getting some error messages here. Let's get out of here. Let's try this again. I don't know what this is. Okay, let me make sure I'm logged in as the right person. So for those of you, like I said, that are brand new, you may see what's called a setup wizard. It's going to ask you to accept some terms. And if that's what you see, then that's fine. What you want to do is you want to go through that process. and I'm getting a strange message here. So bear with me. Let me just close out of here for a second. Love when this happens live. By the way, let me know if there's any questions. I'm just going to keep rolling here, and I appreciate your time. So let me just exit out of here for a second. And I'm going to go back into this window. And this is, by the way, this is a little tip for you. If you run into issues where you can't get in to Mac Center, what I just did is I'm incognito. So what that means is I just open up a brand new browser window as a complete stranger. So the system's not going to remember my logins or error messages for that matter that I was already experiencing, but you can log into your account through an incognito window. And by the way, Chrome is the best browser for our tools here at Remax. Now I use a Mac, so I mean, I like Safari. You can use it on Safari. You can also use it on Firefox, but it is at its best when you're editing and working on it inside of Chrome. So I just want to point that out. Okay, so I'm back in here, and let's see if I can get in. So we'll click on booj. And let's see that this takes me to the right place. So by default, like I said, it goes to the contact management. So client relationship management is CRM. Some of you, I get this question all the time. What does CRM stand for? Client relationship management or contact relationship management, whatever, however you want to call it. There we go. So I got the right message. So again, if you're still going through the setup wizard, what I'd like you to do if you're following along is just power through those several first slides. I'm going to show you how to get to your notifications and settings. Some of you might see nothing here. Like you can see I've got calendar, deals, recent interactions. When you click on where it says edit widgets, this is where you can add these items to your dashboard. So what do you want to see when you open up booj every day? Do you want to see your calendar? Do you want to see deals or your recent interactions with your clients? Probably all the above. And since I've already done this, I can't repeat it, but I can move things around. So notice where it says edit. What if I decide I want to move, I want my recent interactions to be here instead of my calendar. I want it to be first and foremost. So then I'll hit done. Okay. So you can do that. You can move them around, make it work to your liking. But up here at the top, so again, we are now in the CRM dashboard. So this is a snapshot of what's going on in your account for the day. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of walk through some of the settings. So go to the top right corner. And in my case, it's a balloon because I'm using a demo account, but it should be your picture. So you want to click right here and then you want to click on settings. So settings will take you to some general pages. Now, in the interest of time of this webinar, we're going to make sure that we focus on some of the key settings. And let me just double check questions, make sure everyone, can you add your own calendar like Google? Margaret, that's a great question. Google Calendar integration is coming. We're anticipating by the end of this quarter, so end of next month. And possibly into the third quarter, but Google Calendar and contacts are on the roadmap to be synced with booj. So I think you'll all be happy about that. So great question. So yes, you'll be able to do that. Right now, the calendar that exists in booj lives inside of just the booj system, but you can use it just like any other calendar. So we're gonna go, so once again, I'm up here in the top right and I click settings, and then I went to settings pages, which is located here. And this is going to give you a pretty good snapshot of all the different settings that you can come up with. But we're going to focus on contacts and leads again due to the shortness of this hour. And so under general, so this is where, what do you want to see when you first open up a contact? You just want the overall dashboard? Would you prefer to see details, which is their name and address, etc.? There's a lot of videos on using contacts and leads on Remax University. Remember I mentioned the booj videos that are on there. You should definitely pay attention to those. Down here, the lead street contact lead import. For those of you, now since you're new to Remax, this probably doesn't affect you, so I would just leave this as it is. If you have been in Remax for some time and have not done this yet, when it comes to automatically importing your leads from Lead Street, it's basically going to pull in just the remax.com leads, not anything that you had imported previously. So you may have to do this a different way or not do this at all. And I'm going to talk about how to import contacts manually, okay? So you can just leave this on no for the time being. Under notifications, let's click here. This is important. So this is how you are going to be notified to receive leads. So obviously, do you want to get in-app push notifications? Have not been enabled yet. Those are coming, but you can receive leads via email and via the desktop. So that's what this web version is. So you'll actually can get notifications on the desktop. In fact, see this little bell up here with the red number? Those are notifications. Text messages. So the text messages you will receive you can choose to get brand new leads that are signed or offered to you. And that's pretty important. So you want to make sure you're getting those both by email and by text. So kind of take the time to go through these settings. So you can also be notified. Now there's something called a preferred buyer's agent. A contact or a client has the opportunity upon registration on remax.com to choose you as their preferred buyer's agent, to choose any agent for that matter. And if they do, or let's say that you are their preferred buyer's agent and they switch to a different agent, you would get notified of that, okay? So that's what some of these mean. You also can get a notification if you do an import of contacts or you export your contacts. And I'll show you how to do both of those, okay? So just take a look at those. But as you take the time to look through these different sections, I do want to call attention to offered leads as a very important area for you. Offered leads, write this down under settings and settings pages and contacts and leads. You want to go to offered leads. This is where you will fill in up to 10 zip codes where you want to receive leads from. So what would this include? So you will get your own listing leads for people that are visiting remax.com for the very first time. If the initial listing agent, which could be you, and I hope it doesn't happen, if you miss it in that first hour, that lead gets reoffered to other agents in the area, other Remax agents that have signed up for that particular zip code of that property, okay? Which applies to that property. So you can choose 10. Repeating zip codes does not make a difference. So if you can choose 10, please choose 10. You don't have to. But you have to have at least one zip code here filled in order to be eligible for leads. So make sure you have at least one, minimum one, no more than 10, and make them all different, okay? So how do you fill them in? You actually go in here and you have to type it in first. And then you click down here below and it will populate that zip code. So that's how you do it. This area right here, filters, this is sort of a trick question. It says, check the boxes for the leads you do not want to receive. So some of you might have done this in the initial setup process, or maybe you accidentally clicked a bunch of these thinking it was the opposite, but it says, what leads do you not want to receive? Okay. So as you can see, you probably want to leave it wide open. You don't want to limit yourself to any certain property type. Even if you're not an expert in farm or land, you can always refer that to another Remax agent, but I want to make sure you're giving yourself plenty of opportunity to get leads. Text message notifications. This is really important. This is how you're going to receive notifications and leads, especially from remax.com. So please make sure that you put in your cell phone number, okay? All right, so that's important there. So other things, when you get a moment, you want to click on, so integrations, this is when you will have the Google and the Outlook syncs that are coming down the road, okay? Let me know if there's any questions. Let me just double check. We've already answered, I think, most of those. So let me get rid of these and we're good to go. Thanks for hanging in here with me, everyone. All right, so let's go back to settings pages. I want to show you one more thing that's really important. So let's talk about where leads come from. Now, leads come from remax.com. They also come from global.remax.com, which is translated in over 40 different languages. So international clients can search for real estate and find you on global. You will also have the ability to receive leads. They will come in from your agent website, your office website, and team websites if you're part of a team or a team leader. Okay, so there's a lot of different places. The other place you can bring leads in from are third-party lead parsers. What I mean by that is HomeSpotter, Zillow, or Realtor.com. So under the settings pages, you want to click on System. And then you have integrations. So under these integrations, as you can see, you have the ability to set up some lead parsers, which will bring those leads as you receive them on those platforms into the booj system. So all you have to do is choose one. Let's say you're getting leads from Realtor.com. Now, even if you're not paying for leads, it does not hurt to do this because consumers can still find your profile on Realtor.com and they can still click contact this agent. which is good. In this case, what you want to do on realtor.com, it's different for each of these parsers. You want to copy and paste. So you copy this. It's been copied to my clipboard. This particular email address is what I need to paste into the field on realtor.com that says, where do you want leads to forward to? Okay. So a lot of times you have the option to do a primary and a secondary. So you can still do your Gmail. And then the secondary is this particular email identifier, because what will happen is leads will hit your realtor.com account. You'll get notified on Gmail, but they'll also automatically go right into booj. So then you don't have to do manual import. You don't have to type them in. You don't have to take the time to do that. It will already be there, which is awesome. So this is just going to give you a general idea how to do that. That's realtor.com. Now Zillow is a little bit different. You know, like I said, again, even if you're not buying leads in particular from either of these platforms, it does not hurt to add this to your profile, this identifier. Follow these instructions for Zillow lead forwarding as it applies to you, okay? So it'll bring those leads in. It'll actually say they're coming in from Zillow, realtor.com, and that sort of thing. One of the other things inside of this platform that's brand new is the integration with BombBomb. So if you have a BombBomb account, video email, which does cost, it is a subscription, but you get preferred pricing with Remax when you sign up for BombBomb, but you can actually connect this. Now mine's already connected, but for those of you that have that button, it's gonna ask you to connect to your account. So when you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to click there, and then you're going to let it log into your account for you. And then I'll show you on the email how to set that up. The other thing inside of this system is you will have the ability to integrate paperless systems. Now the three that are listed here, as you can see, are ZipForms, Dotloop, and DocuSign. I have connected a DocuSign demo account right here. There are videos on Remax University on how to go about doing this, because then you can use them when you're setting up deals inside of booj. So you'll be able to set up your buy and list side deals, and you'll be able to manage them, and the integration with your paperless is going to be much more seamless and save some work for you. Okay, so check out those videos on RU. All right, so I'm going to take a look and see what else we have. So let's see. It looks like we've answered our questions. I'm going to hit done, and we're going to keep moving through. So we are in the CRM portion, but let's go ahead and click back on contacts and leads, because I want to talk about getting contacts into booj. So one of the things you can do is you can add them individually, or you can import an entire list if that's what you choose to do. So you can actually go right here where it says add or import, and you can import. So this is where you can import your lead street contacts. And keep in mind, for those of you that have been in the system for a while, we're going to lose access to those sometime this month. So you might want to make sure you're doing that right away. We're going to add an individual. So let's just say you want to add a one-off. So we'll just add somebody in here. We'll make up a name. We'll just say, let's see, we'll put a celebrity in here. How about Chris Evans from the Avengers movies? All right, so we'll put them in here. So a tag is a category. So who is this person to me? Maybe it's how you got the lead. I met him at a golf outing, or he called on one of my signs, or this was a walk-in, or whatever. So what is the tag that you want to give this person? Well, we know they are, this particular person is a buyer. So we can start with that, but we can add more. So let's see what other tags are available. We'll say that this person is a first-time buyer, or we'll say I met him at an open house, even better. So you can do it that way. Now, when your leads come in, you can actually choose to make this a lead, so that you know in the system, if it's a lead, you still need to qualify and work this person. And that's something you should definitely do. Then you put in their information. We'll just make up a number. And we'll just kind of label this mobile. And custom label could be, you know, this is someone in my Chamber of Commerce, if you want to add something extra. And then email address you can put in. Again, we can just make one up. And then we'll click add. So when you add this person, it's just pretty simple. So again, you're going to have those one-offs. You're going to have open house leads. You're going to have someone call in. You have to get yourself in the habit to do that. Now, to make it easy on yourself, please download the booj CRM mobile app, okay? So when you're looking in the App Store, it is an app. It's booj CRM. And then you can actually go ahead and add contacts, and you'll be able to see all of your contacts on that particular application. You could also go to Mac Center, of course, and log in that way on your phone too. So you'll notice these tags are all listed here. So you can actually search your contacts by tags. So right here, it doesn't give me that option, but if I click Manage Filters, if I choose tags as an option, look what it's going to do. It's going to give me now tags. I can search my clients, my database by tags. Let's say I want to make sure I reach out. I'm going to send something fun to the people I met at the golf outing last week. So notice when I checked that box, it refreshed and found 12 people that fall into that category that I met at the golf outing. So I can use it that way. One thing you can do too is, a lot of you are probably wondering, how do I export contacts? You have to select at least one contact to do this. So just go over here to the side. You can either click all of these, and notice the export button shows up, but if nothing's checked off, it's not there. You can choose one person. So whether it's 1, 2, or 3, let's say I just want these 3 people. When I hit export, now it's going to ask me what I want to include on this export. Remember the notifications we set up earlier? I will be notified when that export happens. Okay, so that's how you do it. And again, everything comes in as a lead, and then once you qualify it, you can actually convert it to a contact. Now to import a list, you click over here to the right-hand side again, and then you click on Import List. Now there is integration. If you have Boomtown, Chime, or Follow Up Boss as an outside contact management system, you can actually click through the process and pull those leads in, and the system recognizes what to do with those. Now there is talk of some future ones being added, such as, and there is a top producer integration already here that'll be added. There will also be in BombBomb, and then there might be some others as well. So down the road, those will be added, but right now these 3 are here. You can also upload your very own file. So let's say you exported your Gmail contacts. Let's say that you exported contacts off the back end of the MLS. A lot of you have contacts there. You're using what the MLS has provided you. You've set up property alerts, and you've been using that for some time. Why not get them in here too? Get everything into your CRM and centralize it. So right here, I'm going to click. So it'll say, where's the file? It's going to ask me for that file, and then I need to grab it off my desktop. Now notice it's grayed everything out that is not a CSV file. So it has to be a CSV file, okay? So it's gotta be that. I'm not gonna import anything I have here because some of you are on these spreadsheets. So unless you wanna get my emails, I'll be happy to do that. So right here though, there's a template. Now you can do this 2 different ways. If you import, as long as it's a CSV file, when you get ready to import it, the system will ask you what fields you want to map. So like, do you want first name, last name, address, email, etc., right? So that's okay. That's what you want to do. You can also download the template. So when you click on that blue link that says download our template, this particular item is going to show you the required format, or actually the most recommended format, to bring these into the system. So it looks like I've got my Excel file. It's not popping up for some reason. I think it's because, oh, that was interesting. It went to Dropbox. Let's go back in. It's actually a CSV template that works, and when you open it up in your download folder, it will come through. So let me get back in here again. We're gonna keep moving through. I'm watching the time. So once again, what we did is we click on add or import. You have to be in this section here where it says, in order to do the list, okay, like an actual import a sheet of more than one contact, you have to be right here in the top right where it says add or import. You can also go to this plus button up here, but you're only going to be able to add one contact at a time if you use this plus button. So you need to use this blue button, okay? So let's quickly jump over to, the one thing I want to talk about is campaigns and then websites. And then I'll really fast mention Design Center and wrap it up for you so you can, and I appreciate your time and attention. So right here, campaigns. So by the end of this quarter, you're going to have the ability to send what are called drip campaigns. So if you're new to real estate, what that term means is it's like a faucet dripping where you're constantly streaming content. You're constantly touching your clients. So this could be once a month. This could be once every 6 weeks. It really depends on what it is you're sending and how often you want to send it and who this person is to you. Right now, though, you have the ability to do what's called a single send. You can set up a recipient list where, let's say you have a group, it's your golf outing people, for instance. So if I click recipient list, I can actually set up a group of 10, 12, or however many people that I want to receive one particular single campaign. Maybe it's just a holiday message, happy spring, or something along those lines. So when you set up a recipient list, you want to click create list, name the list. So we'll just say this is our spring project 2020. We're going to click create list. Or maybe this is just a reach out list. Again, you found some nice COVID resources and you want to send them out right now. That's perfect. So in here, you just start searching for people. So I can type in, like, I know there's somebody named George. And if I hit that, it's going to find anyone named George. And there he is. I've got George Clooney. I'm going to now type in another name. There's been a few glitches with this. So let's, I'm hoping that this is going to cooperate today. All right, so pulled up there. So yeah, so in the list, it's got 2 Toms. So this is what's been happening. It looks like there's a couple glitches left in here. So it should allow me to add more people. So let's try adding George again because he got booted off. There shouldn't be a limit to how many people. Okay, so there he is. Yeah, so there's a few glitches right here. So either way, when you hit save and exit, I will report that to support. As you can see, I've got my project list here and I can go in and edit it and add people to it at any time. I can remove people as needed, and that's what will happen. So what do I want to do? I want to go up to single, and then I want to click on add campaign. Now remember, this is just a single send. So we're going to call this our spring project 2020, and we're going to build the campaign. Now this is just a name we will see. It's not in the subject line. We create the subject line. Remember, you can choose a recipient list here. Here's one of the best things about it. You can schedule this in advance. So let's say that you want to work on this at night, but you really want it to go out in the morning, and you can maybe sleep in a little bit and you don't have to worry about it. When you can schedule it right here ahead of time, which is awesome. But first you want to select your template. And there's actually a whole host of templates in here. Looks like some of these have been updated recently. This is only 5 results per page, but if I go to 25 results per page, it's going to show me a lot of different templates that I can use. So as you can see right here, there's holidays, there's other fun things that you can do, there's home improvement tips. So you kind of need to take the time to learn these, and you find these all located in the template library that's in your campaign section of booj, okay? So there's that. All right, I'm going to keep moving so we can wrap up very close to the hour. We might go over just a couple minutes. So under website, you want to go to dashboard. So this is one of the key things you want to do initially when you're getting started, is to at least work on your homepage. The best part is, so by the way, when you publish your website, now mine's published, so watch what happens. On this, we're on website and dashboard. This is the only way you get to your homepage and can publish, is to be on the website and dashboard. So on the far right-hand side, it says publish. So that what this means is I'm going to make my site live so it could be found by consumers. Now, of course, you want your site to look good when you present it to the public, when you unveil it. So you may want to work on it first before you publish. And what you want to do is you want to start working within the general homepage. So it'll tell you right here, it'll say current homepage, agent social layout. If you want to change the layout and see something different, you can actually just go through here and click the green check mark and then go to the bottom and save it, and it'll change your layout, okay? So watch what happens. It changed my layout right here. I changed it to a different one. Now, if you did create content in there, if you go back to it, it will remember you. So I had agent social layout, and remember the content I had in there before, it's still there. So that works out really good, okay? So what you want to do to see your site, if you want to see what it actually looks like, you have this URL right here. Now watch what happens though when I click publish, it changes. It shortens, and then you have a URL assigned to you by the system. And it would be yourremax.net username.remax.com. So for me, it would be mhoyt.remax.com, and that's what it's going to be, my remax.net username. So that's what it's going to be for you too. So when you change, now obviously again, if you're not ready, don't publish. But if you want to preview your site, what you want to do is you want to click here, but before you do, take note of this little I, because it's going to ask you to enter some credentials. And this is where they are, beta user, beta tester, 123 exclamation. That's what you're going to have to enter to preview your site before it's published. So when we click here, it's going to ask me to enter that information. So beta-user and then beta tester, 123 exclamation. This is how you're going to preview what your site looks like. So if you publish your site right now today, this is what it looks like. Now I've been playing around with my site, so it's going to look different than yours. And I've been doing training, but I can actually choose different photos. I've actually started playing around with this to set it up. I've got a video of myself. So I will show you how to do all of that, but you may want to leave that open while you're working on your site, because as you make changes, you can come back here and refresh it. So under website right here, what you want to do is you want to click where it says edit agent social layout. Now there's some really good videos and webinars on RE/MAX University on what's called content blocks. So each of these items that you see here are content blocks. So I don't want you to let this intimidate you if you're not tech savvy in any way. I want you to take your time. And if you want to keep it simple and you just have 3 or 4 different pieces of content, that's perfectly fine. But again, watch the webinars that we just did on RE/MAX INTEGRA YouTube channel. We've got webinars on website design as well. And then notice some of these have draft and then they have the green button. So if they're in draft mode, that means they're not showing on my site. But to add a content block, so like for instance, this one right here is called image text. And I started adding different images and you'll notice they're kind of all set up correctly here in different sections. This is called the bio block. Remember the profile that we filled out at the very beginning? You want to click right here where it says add block, and you can do this on any page on your website. And you want to scroll down and you want to find what's called the bio block. So if nothing else, choose the bio block, and then it looks like this. It's your picture, your name, and your story and everything else. That will be located here. So you have to be inside of a page in order to see these content blocks. All right, so Becky's asking, can you tell us again how to get into the text page? So Becky, I'm assuming you mean, how do I get into any page really to edit it? So let me just go ahead and close out of here and I'll show you. So let me get out. Okay, hold on. I don't want to take too much time if my computer, my internet's running a little slow. All right, so I'm back in. Let's go back in. So I went to website and I am on dashboard, okay? However, you can go inside of any page. You have to be editing a page in order to see those content blocks that are available. So website, dashboard. If you want to work on the home page, not any sub pages, you want to click right here where it says edit, and then whatever the name of your layout is, but not change homepage. You want to go to edit agent social layout. Then you will see on the left-hand side, these are called content blocks. If you want to create something similar to this, so if you click add block and we choose, if you just want to do text, you can, or if you want to do an image with some text, you choose image and text. So now it's going to ask me to choose an image. There's a whole library of images already in here, and you can actually search by category. Let's say you really want a picture of a kitchen. So I type in kitchen and I hit enter, and it's going to show me anything that's got a kitchen on it. So I'm going to click right here. I like that one, and watch what happens. It populates over here and I hit insert. Okay. Then I can just title it, just say your dream kitchen. Or imagine your dream kitchen, right? Love this kitchen. So whatever you want to put in, again, no spell check here. Make sure you are spell checking and grammar checking everything. You could even go so far as to have an additional link added here where you could say learn more. Maybe this is a picture that shows that you have staging services. Learn more, and then you put in a URL, a full one. And then this is what it says, learn more. This might be getting a little bit more advanced than we wanted to, but as you can see, Becky, if you get into any of the blocks, you have to go into a page, you click edit on any page, and then you click add block, and that's where you can choose anything that says text, means you can put new text in there. If it's got an image, then you have that too, okay? So hopefully that answered your question. So let's see, I'm checking. Tell us again how to get into the text page. The test page, you touch the button. Oh, gotcha. Okay, now I got it. So what I did was I was on my site, and I'm going to get out of here, although it's not letting me get out of here for some reason. Let's go back. All right, there we go. I'm trying to get out of this page. Try again. It got me stuck in there, Becky, sorry. Okay, so what I did was, let's get back in. Let me see your question again. So to load your site, to get a preview on your site, you go into website and dashboard. And then write this down on the far left-hand side of your link right here. There's a little I, okay? And when I click that, you should be, I know it's really small here, but let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go. So you want to jot this down. Username is beta-user, and then the password is beta-tester123! For some reason, booj wants you to enter these credentials to view your site in preview mode. I'm sure it's for security reasons, but that's what you want to jot down. So all of you can find this by clicking right here, this little I right next to the screen. Then what you do is you click your link, and I'm already in there, so it's not going to prompt me to log in. And when you get that pop-up window to log in those credentials, that's what you enter. So hopefully that helps. And then this, again, is going to be your site that you can leave this tab open while you're working on it, because every time I make a change, I can go back here and hit the refresh button, refresh my screen, and then I can see my changes, which works out really good. Okay. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. You got it. Okay, perfect. All right, let me just quickly jump over, and I'm sorry we're out of time, but I want to make mention of Design Center. This is so important, so I'm going to just take a couple minutes to talk about this. Remax Design Center, by the way, please check out the videos on RU, work on your booj websites and your CRM. I know this is a quick intro, but it's a good place for you to start. So I'm in Design Center. Actually, I need to go to a different place. In Design Center, I want to point out something very important. So on Design Center, there's a feature called automation. Whenever you put a listing on the MLS, within 24 hours, Design Center is going to create a marketing package for you, and they'll send it to you. And what's awesome is this includes a flyer, a postcard, a brochure, a virtual tour, and it's all in one email, and all you have to do is click to get to the projects. It also includes a social media ad, so you can immediately post and pay for an ad on Facebook directly from this email. Now, again, that's within 24 hours. So if you want to go in and edit those projects or see where they are, in Design Center, and by the way, this is our center for creating flyers and marketing materials, all included in your tools, right here under listings, and this is its own application in the App Store, by the way, as you saw when I clicked before and on Mac Center. So right here, what I have is all of my listings. So when I have active listings, they will display here. I can click on any of these. So if I click right here where it says Manage, I can see any of the projects that have been sent to me. So right here under View Projects, this will show me what was sent to me originally. So in this case, it was a brochure, postcard, virtual tour. Now you don't have to use all of these, but you get these sent to you in one email, which is awesome, and it makes it so much easier for you. The next thing is you can edit any of these projects. So let's say you look at the postcard, and remember, it will pull the images in the order that you put them on the MLS. So let's say that it pulls 6 images for this postcard, and just by coincidence, they all happen to be of the exterior of the home. And maybe you want some interior photos. So you can edit those images that appear on the project. So you can go right here where it says Edit, and you just want to immediately click on the timeline where it says Photos. And then you can actually add more images. It'll pull up the whole library of that listing, and you can insert some of those kitchen photos and living room and whatever else you want to include. So it works out really good. You can even move them around by clicking and holding and moving them around. You don't have to do that, but you can. Okay. Something else, did you notice the distribution? So on any of these projects, so when I go back to my listings, and again, you have to click manage to get inside of it. If I click on any of my projects individually, click view projects, it will show you all these different ways you can distribute it. So let's see, here's a flyer. Now you can do a lot of different things with this. If you download this flyer as an image, you can then add it to an email and send it out to everybody that you know, or maybe it's you send it out to all the co-op agents that you've worked with. This is an open house, or you want them to see the new listing, but you can download it as an image and do whatever you need to with it. Put it into Canva, maybe create some things there if you want. But there's some really good templates here that you can work with. You can also share directly to social media, to either your business page or your personal, or both, either way. Or you can get it printed. Inside of here, and along with all the other vendors that RE/MAX uses, there's been negotiated volume discounts across the country that have been set up for you. You can go directly to one of these printers and get it printed. You can even have them mail it out for you if you give them an address list, or they can help you find zip codes and all kinds of things. More importantly, I want you to know there's not just one set of templates on this Design Center automation. So again, I can't stress enough how this happens automatically for you. It's awesome, but you can also see all the other templates. By default, it sends you, look like sort of a white background. We can actually preview some of the projects and what they look like. But I want you to click right here, go inside of one of your listings and click Create Marketing Package. Now, if you don't have any listings, have someone in your office show you these, or maybe your team leader if you're on a team. This white package here that you see, sort of the white background and the way it's set up and laid out, is default. However, keep scrolling down. Let's say that I'm thinking, okay, I want something a little bit different. When I click select under for sale package, then I'm going to get the blue template. Now there's actually 4 things that trigger an email from Design Center and a marketing package. Number 1 is the just listed. Number 2 is open house. Number 3 is price reduction, and number 4 is just sold. And as you can see, the number of items that you receive gets reduced depending upon the activity that occurs. So I know it says coming soon package here. I know that can tend to be a little controversial in most MLSs. So that's optional. You don't have to use that unless it calls for it or it's appropriate to do so. But for the most part, these 4 events will trigger those emails that'll come to you. So for sale, price reduction, open house, you can talk about this in a listing presentation to a client by saying, I just want you to know the minute I activate your property, my system sends me an automatic marketing package already created so I can instantly start promoting your property. So it's a huge plus, and it's a huge benefit to the consumer, the potential seller, to know that you have these tools in place. Let them know how amazing the tech is that we have, how streamlined it is, how easy it is, and how quick it is, more importantly, because they're going to want to see, they do, right? They want to see that you're marketing their property. Keep scrolling down. There's a whole bunch of new templates that have been added. I mean, there's a lot. There's a whole collection or luxury template. So find out from your broker owner if you don't know the luxury pricing threshold in your market. There's also commercial, and there's for sale, even more designs that you can see down here. So if you select one of these, it's going to automatically generate a marketing package, and it will put them into that folder we looked at that said view projects. Okay. So I'm going to try to wrap it up there. Are there any last minute questions? Please let me know that this helped you, that it got you at least in a good direction to get started. We always want to hear your feedback, so feel free to let me know what you thought. And if you have any last minute questions, I'll do one last call and check it out, chat box or Q&A box. And I know that was a lot to cover in 1 hour. So thanks to those of you that are joining us on Facebook. I appreciate it. Hopefully you picked up some new learning tools. You're very welcome, Kim. Thank you for being here. And that's it. We will go ahead and wrap up our quick start for this time. Again, this session was recorded and it will be put on RE/MAX University. And it will be, thank you, Becky, I appreciate it. It will also be posted on RE/MAX INTEGRA YouTube. So I'm signing off. Thank you so much. My name is Michelle Hoyt and I love being your host today. Have a good day.